This is Archetypal Trader. Today's date is the 15th of June 2021, and in today's video I want to go over Synex, Ethereum, Matic, Bitcoin and Cardano. So jumping straight into the Synex chart, got the daily chart up here, and we've had a 70% correction from its high in February. I've just drawn on a fib with the 61.8. And we've had a pretty heavy correction since this mid-May correction down. It's corrected 70% from the May correction down. Pulling up the Ichimoku, we're well and truly underneath the cloud. Everything's pretty bearish. We're just back testing the Tinkinson and stuff at the moment. Since from the high, it's been a 72% correction from this high back on the 14th of February. So I'll dig into the lower time frames on the 4-hour. It's been a pretty incredible correction compared to other assets. There are some other DeFi assets that have had such a correction, this 70% correction in that. On the 4-hour, pulling up the RSI and the volume here. Let me just get rid of that 100-day moving average. There was not so much of divergence really came in on this 4-hour. It was more of like perhaps a head and shoulders in the RSI down the bottom here. And we've had a few checks of the bull fractal and a smaller 61.8 touch on this structure down the bottom here. You can see we came down to 61.8 and then also just boxing in that bull fractal there. We've back tested. So pulling up the Ichimoku now. We also did break the Kijun. Put Tinkinson on. Got a weak TK cross underneath the cloud. We're just getting up to the Kumo or cloud at the moment. 100-day, 100 period moving average is still above price, so it's a reasonable bounce so far from these lows, and I'm just boxing in that bull fractal at $9.30 here. So, this could be a interim bottom here to build off. Maybe a bit more of a counter trend rally if I go back to the daily. We could at least expect a relief rally up to the 61.8 or even 50% retracement on Synex, not financial advice. Ethereum. So Ethereum on the daily, we had a pretty big correction down of 60%. We're underneath the Kumo, and we've been testing this 100-day moving average and continually finding support there. We've had a minor TK cross above the cloud, which is it's a minor bullish TK cross underneath the cloud. Still a lot of work to do in Ethereum, really. 61.8 is at $3,368, so I'd expect some resistance up at this level. Some selling pressure, though. Interim bounces up would be like 30%, so that's not too bad of a trade if it comes off. Going to the 4-hour now, putting on the Ichimoku, I've got some VWAPs on these prior tops here, and there's a VWAP from that 4100 level. That was an original 61.8 test on the way back up that sold off quite heavily. up the top here when we did break that $4,000 level. We got that 61.8 selling opportunity, and then we moved down. But yeah, this VWAPs remain to be pretty resistive. We've touched it 1, 2, I suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've had 7 touches on this. Maybe we can break above and yeah, go back to this 33.68 level that I mentioned before. Yeah, so got some fractal zones to get over. Ikamoko, we've broken above the Kumo a few times here, and we're doing it again. 100-day moving average. We're back above the 100-day moving average. Just make sure that setting's right. Yeah, it is. So yeah, we're back above the Kumo. We're waiting on a flip here for Ethereum. Still a pretty choppy market. I'm still fairly neutral, bearish outlook in the medium term. But yeah, there could be opportunities for a scalp up to like that $3,300 level if we get like a Kumo breakout signal here, waiting for the Kumo to flip, and yeah, I guess we'll just see what happens from there. Matic. So there's a daily on Matic. Matic's pretty crazy. I did just notice this before I had started the video that where's my box? Here we go. Yeah, I just noticed before we didn't back test this bull fractal down here at 54. I suppose we don't need to anytime soon, but it'd be interesting to see if we do go back there. It would be technically positive to do so, but the crypto market will do whatever it wants to do. Yeah, it's been pretty explosive sort of chart, Matic. It's been pretty manic, you could say. But yeah, we did get a test of that 61.8 like I showed on Ethereum just before. We aggressively bounced back there after this correction down in May. We exceeded it by a fairly long way, and we've had this move. We've had that move down, and then we're getting this response here. I'll just measure on the way back down. It wasn't like a clear 61.8 test, but we've gone under and we're bouncing back up now. So the next range for a fib would be from here to here, from $2.43 to around the $1.14, whatever this low was. And yeah, maybe $1.94 will run into some resistance again, throwing on the Ikamoko. We did have a bearish TK, I beg my pardon, a bearish Kumo flip here. And yeah, it's pretty choppy. It's a pretty sideways market, so not getting too excited. Need more confirmation to really come from these charts on the larger time frames. With the 4 hour, it's been fairly reasonable. We got a couple of inside bars here, down here at the bottom. Inside bar broke up. That's a buy signal depending on your risk management. Have a stop at that fractal. But yeah, we closed higher on this 4 hour. And then sometimes I like to see the market come up and break the Kijun, and then you sort of get a tweezer bottom. You get those 2 consecutive candles on the Kijun, and we move up further. And with the way that Matic had moved up, there was a technical buy signal here because we broke the 100-day moving average, and we've got a Kumo flip here. Kumo's green. Yeah, that's a Kumo breakout on the 4 hour. Kumo breakouts on the 4 hour is lower probability, so it's a pinch of salt really. But if you're scalping and you're looking for a move up to that 190 level, like the 61.8, what, $1.59 to $1.90, that's probably 15% of that. It's 20%, so it's not bad. It's not a bad little setup. Matic does like to move, and it moves pretty quickly. You can't give it too much time to think about things when you're looking at the MATIC chart, that's for sure. Bitcoin. That's a 4 hour. I'll just start on the daily. Got a whole lot of stuff on this chart previously. I'll just delete that off. So yeah, Bitcoin. Yeah, I think I mentioned in the previous video we broke this fractal area yesterday. And we broke the key June, and we've gone through another fractal now. So that's encouraging. Breaking bull fractals is definitely a good thing. We didn't get through this last one here. I'd like to see us get through this area. So still pretty rangy down this 30 to 40k level. We have poked our heads at the top here, but we're pretty much fractal bound from this previous fractal at the moment. So no TK cross yet. CQ span B was angling down there, and now it's flat at about the 44.5k mark. It's usually a magnet. When they flatten out like that, we'll have to wait for further price action, but it definitely looks like June will be chop city. Not expecting anything crazy at this stage. I think a back test of this fractal area here would be welcomed to see to perhaps have another chance for traders to participate if you're bullish. So yeah, that's a fractal area there on the 4 hour. Just bringing up Ichimoku. It's a pretty ugly chart. It's range bound and it's choppy, and Ichimoku doesn't really excel when the trend isn't clear. So I'll sort of take it with a pinch of salt, just taking that off. When we had this inside bar down here on the 4 hour, I was waiting to see if we'd get a 61.8 fib test on the way back down, but that didn't eventuate. We did get like a 50% retracement, and we've bounced back up. Currently, we've got 37 minutes left on this 4 hourly candle, and we are going through this inside bar. So drawing that fib back up to the range from this 30k bottom now, 61.8. It's back up at 34,800. That could be a buying area if we don't find support at this bull fractal. So that's what I'm seeing in Bitcoin. Finally, the Cardano chart. I've already got a fib from the bottom to this interim high here of this lower range. I'll just take off the Ichimoku. So yeah, we've just had this chop underneath the cloud. Ichimoku's not really giving us any sort of direction here. It's pretty range bound. We have been around like this $1.50 to $1 level for a while. Yeah, it's an ugly looking chart really. Ichimoku's not really giving us all that much. Similar to Ethereum, we keep bouncing off this 100-day moving average. Got no really clear signal on the daily on direction or anything. If I get rid of that, we draw a fib back up. Drawing the fib back up. I'll get rid of Ichimoku so it's not so. And 100-day MA. So yeah, perhaps we'll get a test back up to this $1.90 level on ADA, and maybe we can consolidate above the cloud and get a proper signal to go long on higher time frames. Going to the 4 hour, we're pretty much in the Kumo. I'll delete that off. We're in the Kumo, no Kumo flip, still under the 100-day moving average. Not much really doing or to report here on the 4 hour. It's range bound. Like I said before, Ichimoku doesn't really excel as a system when it's range bound like that. So it's just hurry up and wait really. There's nothing really clear. We need to wait for the Kumo to flip and the price to be above the Kumo or cloud and 100-day moving average. So I'm sitting on my hands on ADA and just being patient, waiting for those high probability trades to come through. So I'll leave the video there. hope you enjoy the content. I'll be doing more of these quick sort of run-throughs and analyses throughout the week on different assets. If there's any assets that you want me to have a look at on the 4-hour and daily time frame, just leave a comment below. We'll be building out a website and creating a community going forward on this channel. Please like, share, subscribe. Enjoy your day.